Hi, welcome back to AT Math. Today, 5/8 slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. Today's going to be a tough one. You'll definitely want to take notes, do the U-tries, turn it in to me for 10 points extra credit. Yeah, oh, it's difficult. Why more difficult to drive next to this guy? So here's a quick review. Parallel lines are two lines that never cross. If you notice, these lines here are going in the same direction, but they're evenly spaced from way over here to way over here, so they're never going to cross. But they'll always keep that gap, no matter how far they stretch. Now, a perpendicular line are two lines that do cross and form 90-degree angles. So here they cross and they form a 90. Well, everyone probably knew that, but we need to see it by just seeing an equation. Now, take a look here. Are these two equations parallel? Well, here's what you need to know. A parallel equation will have the same slope, but will have a different y-intercept. If you take a look, the number in front of the x are the same. They're both 3, so the slope is 3. There's a different y-intercept because this one is plus 2, this one is at plus 5. Here's a visual for you. Notice how they're the same space apart no matter how you move, and they're always going up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, but they'll never touch each other because they're going to have that consistent space between them. Alright, let's do a U-try. Simply, are they parallel? So take a look, make a guess, and I hope you guessed yes, because they have the same slope but different y-intercept. Let's try one more. Go ahead. Are these two parallel? And I hope you said no, because these are different numbers, -9 and +9, which do not make the same slope. Let's take a quick break. There's going to be a bunch of breaks today because it's a long lesson. Bear with me. You'll be fine. Now, pick the two slopes that are the same here. If you notice these four, how can I determine? Well, notice how these two have the same slope in front, 9x and 9x, and different y-intercepts. These two do not. This is exactly what you'll see on part of your homework, which is why I bring this up to you. So you go ahead and try now. So go ahead and find the ones that are the same slope, which make parallel lines. And I hope you realize is this and this. Although you might say, wait a minute, this has plus 5 on the end, but this one ain't got nothing. Well, that's true, but really all that means is that it could be y equals half x plus 0. So really, the absence of an intercept just means 0 is the intercept. And these are parallel too, by the way. Y equals 2 and y equals 8. Because if you know y equals 2 just means you go up 2 and go left or right as far as you want, because the x value can be anything. All we know is that y equals 2. And y equals 8 just goes left or right because, again, we don't have the x value. Now, if you prefer, I can put this, which looks like this, y equals 0x plus 2. So no matter what I make for x, let's say I make x 10, so I'm going over 10. Well, 0 times 10 is 0, plus 2 is 2. So it would simply stretch out to this. 10 comma 2. But it wouldn't be a 10 and just a straight line all the way across. And these are parallel as well. X equals 3 and x equals 9. Although not a function, I'll give you that. Because x equals 3 means all we know is the value of x is 3. We don't know how far up or down, so it could be any y value. The same here, x equals 9. Can go up or down the same as well. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. And we're back. Match any of the two pairs, and you see here I've already matched them for you. These two are the same because y equals 9 and y equals 52. There is no x value, therefore they're parallel. And this here, y equals half x and y equals half x plus 5, again, because even though there's no plus after, it means plus 0, same slope, different intercept, these are the same. Excuse me, these are parallel, excuse me. Now if we have this, y equals 3x plus 9, 2y equals 6x plus 90, 10y equals 3x plus 9, and y equals 3x minus 9, what we have here is I simply have to find out which is parallel by making them all into y equals mx plus b. This one and this one already have y equals mx plus b. These two don't. They simply have to be converted. I have to get y by itself. So instead of times 2, I'm going to divide 2. You divide 2 on one side, divide 2 on both of the others. And this one here, instead of times 10, you divide by 10. Divide 10 on one side, divide both of these by 10 as well. Even though this one here is going to make 9 over 10, so what? It's still just divided by 10. So if you notice, this guy becomes y equals 3x plus 45, and this guy becomes y equals 3x plus 9/10. So excuse me, I've been doing a lot of these today. So we'll look at all four again. Y equals 3x plus 9, y equals 3x plus 45, y equals 3x plus 9/10, y equals 3x minus 9. Since they all have a slope of 3 and different y-intercepts, they're actually all parallel. You try. Which ones are parallel? To solve this, you would have to go ahead and first do this. I'd have to divide all these by 4, which is going to make y equals 5x plus 90 over 4. Which I'm going to say is 22.5, I believe. Hope I'm right there. And I'm going to divide all these by 10 all the way across. So this makes y equals 7x plus 8. Well, if you notice, therefore, these two here, let me draw a little box here, these two are actually parallel because this is y equals 7x plus 8, this is y equals 7x minus 9, but they're both the same slope once I figured this out. And notice this over here. This is y equals 5x plus 9, and this is y equals 5x plus 22.5. Even though 22.5 is kind of weird, they're both 5x, and they're both a different intercept. So these two are parallel, and these two are parallel. Short break. And back. Okay, and then there's this. 4y plus 8x equals 9, 4y plus 20x equals 90, 2y equals 70x plus 80, and 3y equals 7x minus 9. They all become, down below here, minus 8x, divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. So y equals negative 2x plus 9/4, or 2 1/4 if you prefer. 4y plus 20x equals 90, minus 20x minus 20x. And then from there, I go ahead and divide everything by 4. Y equals negative 5x plus 27.5. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Y equals 35x plus 40. And here, divide everything by 3. Now, I have negative 2x, negative 5, 35, and 7/3. There is no same slope, therefore there is no parallel at all, because they all go in different directions, so eventually they're going to cross somewhere. Now, where this comes in is when we have a plane on a graph like this. So take this figure here. First, I'm going to label the graph. So I'm going to hit all the corners. This guy is negative 1, positive 5. This one's positive 6, positive 5. Negative 3, negative 3. And 4, negative 3. Now we look at segment piece of the plane to find the slope for each. Here's all you have to do. So I'll take from this guy to this guy. Remember, if I pick 2 points, it doesn't matter which one's the x2, which one's the x1, which one's the y2, which one's the y1. So I'll assign these as x and y1, these as x and y2, excuse me. So I'm going to take the y differences, which is 5 minus negative 3, over the x difference, which is negative 1 minus negative 3. So 5 minus negative 3 is positive 8, and negative 1 minus negative 3 is positive 2. Excuse me, this is positive 8, this is positive 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And if you notice, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, it fits. Now, this side, I'm going to do the same thing. 5 minus negative 3 over 6 minus 4. And notice here, same deal. 8 over 2, which is 4. So they have the same slope. Why? Because they both have a slope of 4, they're both parallel, which makes sense since this is a parallelogram. There's two sets of parallel lines. Take the, let's see what we got here. Okay, you try. Identify each point and the slope for each line. There will be 4 points and 4 slopes. So, let's go ahead and identify. This one looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I get negative 4, comma 6. And this guy down here is, oh, this guy here I should say, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Negative 7, comma 3. And this guy here is 1, 2, 3 over, and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So 3, comma 4. And here is 0 and just 1 up. Let's go ahead and take a quick examination. You'll notice, I just have the same thing, which is kind of odd, but okay. Let's see here. Let's move these out of the way. Whoa, that is not what I wanted. I want to move you. So I move you I shall. Very well. Let's go ahead and take y minus y, 6 minus 3. And y2 minus y1, negative 4 minus negative 2. Something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get, let's see here. 6 minus 3 is 3. So I'm going up 3, which makes sense. But then negative 4 minus negative 2, I'm still getting negative 2. Which doesn't seem to jive with my amount, because I know I'm going to have a positive intercept here. I mean a positive slope. So something went wrong. Now this is a good example. Clearly, I must have made a mistake, because it should be a positive intercept. I mean a positive slope, excuse me. Positive slope. But my number didn't come out that way. Let's go back and find out what I did wrong. Well, I went for negative 4, positive 6, which is correct. Oh, here is negative 7. Boy, talk about bad handwriting. Doy. Negative 7, not negative 2. I bet some of you already caught that in this video. But I keep the mistake in there for a reason. One, because at this point going back would take an awful long time. And two, I want you to let you know it's okay to make mistakes. Because Lord knows if I make mistakes, you can make mistakes. And part of doing the U-tries is making mistakes and learning from them. So anyway, negative 4 minus negative 7 makes plus 7, makes positive 3. And now 3 divided by 3 is 1. So clearly we see now that my slope is 1, which actually makes sense because 1 over 1 is the same thing. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, they all seem to work out. Alright, well with that big mystery solved, let's try this side. So I got 3, 4, 0, 1. So go ahead and take y minus y, so 4 minus 1, over 3 minus 0. 4 minus 1 is 3, and 3 minus 0 is 3, equals 1. So I can tell that for both this and this, my slope is 1. Alright. Now, we didn't do it before, but just to say we did, let's do the slopes the other way. What about these slopes? So let's go ahead and take a look. Well, let's just take 2 points, and it doesn't matter which one's which. I'll just take this as point 1 and this is point 2. So point 2, y2 minus y1, is 4 minus 6. And x2 minus x1, 3 minus negative 4. Alright. 4 minus 6 is negative 2. 3 minus negative 4 is positive 4, so 3 plus 4 is 7. Now you might say, wait a minute, did he make a mistake again? But this is okay because we're going on a negative slope, so it's supposed to go down. In fact, down to right 7, take this point, down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's good to go. To save myself a little time, I'll take the other one, I'll just go like this, down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so we know it's good to go. So this slope is m equals negative 2/7, and for these slopes here, while this slope was m equals 1. And there you go. Time for a break.